Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit. The captive turnabout, apparently. That's what it said when I saved. Alright, let's do it. You like the chess piece loading screen now. Makes more sense. Second, I thought we were getting a cutscene. Oh, are we? Well, we are. Turn this up a little bit. Oh, maybe not. Ooh. I have to solve his murder now? Alright, was not expecting that. Is that a doggo? Sounds like a doggo. What do we get? Still no sign of them, huh? Yeah.
How long do they intend to keep us waiting?
No, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm sure the guard will bring him in any second now.
The killing of Bastion Rook. It's been 2 days since the incident at the park, and today we're paying a visit to the detention center. Our aim, of course, is to interview Bronco Knight, who has been charged with the murder. His trial is due to start tomorrow, and I'm to be the prosecutor behind the bench.
Well, I think that's been shot.
What's taking so long? You there, what's going on?
I don't know, sir. I'll go check.
Well, we got a situation! It's Knight. He's been killed.
What?
Killed?
In the detention center? Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for?
Right, guard, take us to the scene of the crime at once.
Yes, sir. This looks so good. It didn't happen in the holding cells, but surely that was where he was being held.
Hold up, the crime scene's this way.
But where are you taking us? Doesn't this door lead to...
The prison proper, yes.
You mean those other cells aren't part of the prison?
Not exactly, no. Those are the detention center's holding cells. That's where defendants are kept while they're awaiting trial. The area beyond this door serves a rather different purpose.
Yeah, it's where the people who are convicted serve out their time.
I suppose you could say it's the last place a great thief should ever want to be.
I've unlocked it, sir. Please follow me. But why was he in here? That's Knight, all right. But he's dead. How could this have happened? And how did he wind up inside the prison proper? Uh-oh. This is horrible. How did Mr. Knight get himself murdered?
I can hardly believe it myself, but there can be no doubting the evidence of our own eyes.
And what's he doing here? I thought he was being held in the detention center, no?
He was. He must have been. His trial hadn't even begun yet. The law states that until convicted, suspects are to be kept in cells separate from the main prison.
Only those who have been found guilty are sent to the prison proper. There's no way Knight should have been in here. Maybe he wandered his way over?
The detention center and the prison are separated not only by 2 heavy doors, but also a lengthy corridor. That would have been a long way to wander, especially for a detainee.
Yeah. Building layout data, jotted down in my organizer. Oh, I'm going to want that. A map of the facility, including the detention center and the prison proper.
I suppose we better take a closer look at Knight's body. We'll need to examine the scene of the crime carefully if we want to get to the bottom of this.
Here we go. It's a sink.
It doesn't seem to contain any useful clues.
Nope, no whiff of treasure either.
You do know we're not actually looking for treasure, right?
Oh, wait. What's with all the weird equipment?
I'm not sure, but I don't see anything particularly suspicious here.
Smells weird though. Kinda musky, like wet fur.
I didn't know you had such a keen nose.
Oh, it's nothing special really, except when it comes to sniffing out treasure.
You remind me to steal all my valuables away in airtight containers.
No way, Mr. Edgeworth, I'd never steal any of your stuff. You would happily steal someone else's? I'm not sure that's entirely reassuring. Time to inspect every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Indeed.
This area is too big to take in all at once. Fortunately, I can use R to look further up or down.
I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention.
How about the hook?
Looks like a pulley of some sort.
Maybe the prisoners use it for work?
I suppose so, yes.
Okay, so I know you're going to say no, but...
Absolutely not, Kay. You are not permitted to swing on that rope.
Ah, I knew it!
No, I should have known you were being serious.
Weird having something like this in a prison, huh? A cage inside a cage?
Technically, Kay, a prison isn't made of cages but cells.
What's the difference? No offense, Mr. Edgeworth, but you've gotta look at the basic nature of things more.
Yes, and the basic nature of an investigation is the pursuit of accurate facts and information.
Doesn't look like there's anything else. Oh, wait, what was that?
These tarps are rather colorful.
Colorful tarps that seem out of place in a room like this. I wonder what they are used for. They kind of stand out in a room like this, don't they? They certainly don't look like they belong in a prison. Look, there's a whip on top of them. I know someone. You know who that reminds me of, right? Hey, maybe it's actually hers. Maybe she left it here?
Not a chance. She and her whip are attached at the wrist, trust me.
Oh. Alright.
There was a rope near Knight's body, too.
Speaking of which, want to see my super stealthy...
rope escape trick? Thanks, but I'll let you know when I'm in need of saving.
Tisk. She seems genuinely disappointed. Anything else here? Alright.
This part of the floor is covered with dirt.
You know what that means, sir. Footprints.
Too many footprints, unfortunately. We'll need a specialist to identify them.
Guess we just gotta wait for till forensics gets here.
Yes, and in the meantime, if you could refrain from treading all over it.
Wouldn't want to slip up and get the old jacket dirty, huh? Good point, Mr. Edgeworth. Thanks. My concern was for the footprints, not your jacket, detective.
Anything out of the ordinary to report, officer?
Yes, sir. There is one thing. The dead body on the ground over there is slightly odd. There's a body in the workshop, sir. I didn't actually think that was it. He's right. That's definitely out of the ordinary.
If anything else occurs to you, you know where to find me.
What are you?
These seem to be lists of prisoner reservations for this workshop.
What are all these numbers, Mr. Edgeworth?
The prisoner numbers, I'd imagine.
I hate to be given a number like that.
I rather agree. People are meant to have names.
I'd much rather be called Great Thief or the Second Yatagarasu.
Alright, no name for you then, I guess.
Oh, do you have? Yes, sir. Sure, tell me something. Arrested for murder on the afternoon of the 25th and killed on the morning of the 27th. Talk about instant karma. Never would have thought our perp would turn into a victim himself, though.
Yes, I don't like this at all.
You don't think it was that ice cream guy, do you, sir? Knight had seen his face, right? Maybe he couldn't afford to let him live?
Shelly to kill her, you mean? No, if this were his doing, he would have surely left a calling card. Besides, Nate isn't the only one who knows what he looks like. We do too.
Oh yeah, I guess we're still alive, so... Still, this is a high-security facility. I just don't understand how it was even possible. Alright, tell me about the prison, I guess. Then we'll look at the body. I guess it makes sense having the detention center and the prison in the same building. Means they can share the visitor's room.
Indeed, it's an unusual design, but it's certainly convenient for anyone visiting.
Yeah, but then why have two different areas in the first place?
For the two different classes of detainees, of course. Those pre-trial and those post-trial. The two facilities may be housed in the same building in this case, but they are actually quite different.
All I know is that they're both cramped and dark, and don't let you leave when you want.
Perhaps spending a night in each would help clarify the differences between them.
No, I'm good, thanks. Poor Gummy. Oh wait, what's this? Nope. There are bottles here. I want to look at... I want to look at the bottles. Apparently that is, not a thing I can do. Fine, I'll just look at the body. Bronco Knight killed the day before his court date. We better take a closer look. So someone didn't want him testifying. Alright, let's start up here. Huh? Is that... Oh, I see one of those in your office, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm sure you have, Detective. It's a pocket chess set. The victims, I'd imagine.
Makes sense. He loved chess after all. Yeah, would have been a good way to pass the time. Okay. No, I didn't actually read that at all. Folding chessboard with pieces stored inside. It appears to belong to the victim. Can I want to like... Open it up. I want to open... Come on, hurry up and open that clasp.
This is a murder investigation. You sound like a child on Christmas morning.
Oh, please, even your heart must skip a beat when you're about to open a mystery box.
Not all of us think like you, Kay, thankfully.
Nothing too crazy yet. These are chess pieces, right? I've seen the ones you have in your office, so how come these are black and white?
Most chess pieces are. The ones in my office are custom made.
As in they're unique and probably valuable? I like the sound of that. She's got that glint in her eye. She'd better not be planning a robbery. Really? I don't buy it. It doesn't seem like a reset at all. What did I miss here? I'm just gonna have to remember that when I get stuck, there's almost certainly something to this. Like, they didn't give this to you for no reason. Alright, fine, we'll look at this.
The rubber glove.
Yep, just the one though. You should examine it in more detail, okay. We got mud or oil or something.
There's mud all over it.
Maybe the prisoners were making mud pies? Wish I could have joined them. I love making mud pies.
Not anywhere near my crime scene, you're not.
Whoa. There we go. Fingers are covered in blood on this side.
I think we can safely assume that this glove was dropped sometime after a night's blood had been spilled.
We can? How come?
Because it had been on the floor when the pool of blood was forming. Then the blood would have flowed around it, but not underneath it.
Oh, meaning there'd only be a band of blood around the edge of the fingers and not all over the backside. Yep.
Assuming the glove was discarded after the blood had pooled around the body.
Maybe our murderer ditched it after they did the deed.
It's certainly a possibility. At the very least, whoever it was that dropped it must have seen the body.
Wait, I'm not done.
You there.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen that glove before?
Yes, sir. The prisoners wear them for work. It's strange, though. Prisoners issued with those gloves are under strict orders to keep them in their cells. They aren't allowed to take them out without permission, and we always check. I suppose that would explain why there aren't any other gloves in the workshop. Only one glove was found at the crime scene. Prison issued equipment for working inmates, stained with blood and mud. I was going to look at the logo, but that's apparently not a thing.
The body is partially covered by a dirt-stained tarp.
And there's a rope on top of it. Was Knight tied up with the rope somehow? Discovered on top of Knight's body. Does this mean the victim was tied up?
We should take a look under the sheet as well.
Heck, look at all that red stuff.
Yes, I'd say that's blood.
Features a colorful design and stained with what I believe to be the victim's blood. We should keep looking around. There's bound to be more secrets to uncover, I'm sure of it. Ah, his neck brace is soaked with blood from the hole in his neck.
I would assume that's the cause of death and that it was probably instantaneous. He wouldn't have even had the chance to cry out for help. There's a small cut on his scalp too. Was he struck with something?
Maybe he fell into his head after he was stabbed in the throat.
It's possible, but it's too early to say with any certainty. Okay, you have your camera with you, correct? Could you lend it to the detective so that he can photograph the body?
Sure thing, all yours, Gummy. Thanks. Alright, here we go. His clothes sure are a mess though, huh?
Indeed, they appear to be covered in dirt.
Killed instantly by a stab wound to the throat, the body is covered in dirt. There's also a small cut on the scalp from when he suffered a blow to the head. Guess he's like me when it comes to laundry.
It would be a grave error to think that anybody else could be quite like you, detective.
Poor Gummy. Huh? Oh, wait, is there still more here?
I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention.
But maybe it just doesn't clear. Oh. Ow!
There's something on his finger.
Let's take a closer look, Mr. Edgeworth. It's a ring, and an expensive looking one at that.
Don't even think about it, Kay.
What? I didn't say anything. Oh, it's not. That didn't move us along. Does that clear that area though? Yep. Alright, so that's checked off. Checked off. Checked off. Got that. I do have some logic. Well, and pile of tarps. Well, let's see what happens. Cool. Alright, that's good news at least.
These tarps have pretty distinctive designs, in fact.
It's the same design as the bloody tarp around Mr. Knight's body.
Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth.
That'll teach you to be so careless, Mr. Edgeworth. You need to keep your treasures close when there's a great thief around. Thought you were on sabbatical? Bloody tarp data jotted down in my organizer. Colorful tarp found around the victim's body. Some of these were being stored in Workshop A.
Not a bad bit of evidence gathering.
Ha! Nothing can stop us when we're on the hunt together, right, Gummy? You betcha. We're unstoppable. Regular Three Musketeers.
Let's not get carried away, detective. There's one thing we still haven't found.
What do you mean, sir? What's missing from this crime scene? Lots of things. Blood? Not that. Footprints? No, we found that. I guess technically it's just the murder weapon then.
I see no signs of a murder weapon anywhere.
You're right. I didn't even think of that.
Now come now, detective. These are basic investigative principles we're talking about here.
Yeah, I guess. Sorry, sir. Don't worry, Gummy. It hadn't crossed my mind either. In fact, that hardly puts my mind at ease, Kay.
Items that could prove even potentially lethal are strictly controlled within a prison. After all, we wouldn't want the inmates getting their hands on them, would we? Which means acquiring a murder weapon would be hard enough, let alone leaving the scene with one.
Oh yeah, nice thinking, Mr. Edgeworth. What was the murder weapon, and where has it gone? The answers to these questions may be the keys to figuring out what happened here. Didn't know the guy had a whole entourage. Who are you? Excusez-moi, but this is the scene of the crime, right?
You are.
No. Never mind. He's not gonna talk like that. Wait a second. Are you? No way. Those piercing eyes, that furrowed brow.
Mr. Fender. It has been far too long.
Fender like guitar? I know, right? But even after all this time, I'd know that deep brow bow anywhere. And the neckwear, obs. Manfred von Karma, the man, the legend. Gotta say, didn't expect to see you here. What are you talking about, pal? This is Mr. Edgeworth, not that old geezer.
Detective, please.
Edgeworth? Wow. Guess that explains the fresh face. Can't blame a guy for mixing you two up, though. You're the spitting image of the old devil in his day.
I see you haven't changed. How many years has it been?
Man, good question. But who's counting, eh? Been away traveling so long I lost track. You know how it is. But you know what I do remember? You betraying everything you were supposed to stand for. Whoa, where did that come from? And who are you anyway?
This is Eddie Fender. He's a defense attorney.
Mike, is that a Van Halen thing? Eddie and Fender guitar. Oh, Defender. I got. Okay, never mind. I was thinking a little too Defender. I got it. Enchanté, as they say. Fender's the name and defending's the game. I'm a bit of an ace attorney. There's only one ace attorney and you are not him. Detective Dick Gumshoe. And I'm Kay Faraday, great thief. I'm on sabbatical at the moment, though. Great thief, wow, that's so romantic. Très chic, if you will. Right? It's nice to finally meet someone who gets it. I'm looking to expand the franchise, actually. I even made signing up super simple. Sounds awesome. I'd love to come hang with you guys if you'll have me. Sorry, I should have also mentioned that it's girls only, and they have to be super fun and super cool, and... Hey, I totally get it. No hard feelings, yeah? Come on, bring it in. You've got to be kidding. My bad, my bad. I'm just so used to how they do things elsewhere, you know?
Why are you here, Mr. Fender?
Whoops, almost forgot. This is your scene. Keeping the defense out is a strategy number one in Von Karma playbook after all, isn't it? Hey, quit it with all the Von Karma stuff, pal. What gives?
Detective, calm yourself. His attitude is, unfortunately, understandable.
It is?
I take it you are Mr. Knight's attorney.
Guilty as charged, Your Honor. Was supposed to be, anyway. So he was planning to represent Knight. If his client hadn't been murdered, he and I would have faced off against each other in court. I'd better see what he has to say for himself. Tell me about your current case, I guess.
So the victim asked you to represent him.
Sure did. We were supposed to have a little chat today.
As was I, but a guard showed up instead and told us that his body had been found.
I'm as bummed about it as you. Even brought him some weenies to cheer him up.
Mr. Fender, you know you can't bring food into the prison.
Oh yeah. Well, it's here now. Want some? Little vice I picked up on my travels. Some Moorish.
No, thank you.
Fine, you do you. What are you doing here anyhow? Don't tell me you wanted to hear Knight's side. Karma was always more of a convict the defendant at all costs guy. He didn't teach you that?
That was a long time ago.
If you say so. Sure you don't want any weenies?
No, thank you.
Tell me about the victim.
Have you met with your client previously?
Yes, indeed, Your Honor. Just yesterday, in fact. The Bronxter called me the minute he was arrested. Sounded really freaked out, man. Oh yeah, mentioned your little performance, too. According to him, you really made a nuisance of yourself. Not a kind word was spoken, I'm sure. Well, sticks and stones and all that. Boy, did he not like you. Trash talked you something fierce. Can't say I didn't join in on the fun, though.
Fun? How dare you, Mr. Fender?
Lighten up, kid. I'm kind of a fixture in the visitor's room here. Don't think I ever had that much of a gas. Oh, so you can't come here a lot. Hey, don't go getting the wrong idea, little sis. I'm never on the wrong side of the bars. Just happen to know someone who is. The visitor's room is usually where I'm at, but this isn't exactly my first time in the clink either. In which case, I'd better ask him what he knows about this room. Okay.
And tell me, what do you know about the scene of the crime?
Oh, this room? No, dude. What do you know about it? I'll give you 3 choices. It's a morgue. Recreation room, I guess?
Is it a recreation room?
Whoa, I don't even want to know what you spend your spare time on, Edward. But I guess there's plenty here you could play with if you used your imagination. Probs. Now let's see what the answer key has to say, shall we? No, you got it wrong. This is actually a workshop. All the options he gave me were wrong. How infantile. The cons come here to perform various duties. They can learn new skills too, bank some qualifications for when they're back on the street.
I see, and how is access to this room controlled? Who has the key?
Chill out, Edgeworth. I don't have all the answers. My man over there probably does, though. Right, compadre? Yes, sir. The workshops aren't locked with physical keys. Their doors are fitted with sensors instead.
What kind of sensors?
Inmates are issued with special bracelets, sir. When they walk through a workshop door, the sensor checks their bracelet. If they're not supposed to be here, ding-a-ling-a-ling, an alarm sounds. If they let it ring for too long, then bzz, they get a real shock, if you know what I mean. And if they try to break out or remove the bracelet, bzz, a shock 3 times worse than that. What? That's brutal. I guess they need to ensure that inmates follow the rules, but that sounds a bit excessive. If they wish to pass through the door, like this one, prisoners need to be accompanied by a guard. We disable the sensors for them and let them in. Get all that?
Have any prisoners used this workshop today?
No, sir. No one's been in here for days. I'd know if they had. No prisoners have entered, let alone used this workshop today. Fitted to each workshop's door, they detect and react to the prisoner's bracelets by raising the alarm. Which means there's a contradiction in this crime scene, namely that there's something here that shouldn't be. I'll take another quick look over the crime scene and employ my powers of deduction to solve this mystery. Alright. We'll go ahead and call it an episode there. We'll investigate the room again in the next one. Hope you're enjoying this. Looking forward to seeing how this plays out. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.